Okay, this is an update for the chatgpt image 2.0. Okay, it's for the prompt generator. If you look up on the right hand corner, you'll see the update when I made it 5.2.26. If you've been here before and you don't see this, hard refresh with the control F5. Without boring you, I'm just going to show you some images before I get started. So we'll go here, and you can do a foregrid, you can do explosion. Here's another foregrid, another foregrid, another one, back view, front view, side view, another side view, back view, front view. There's 6 in here. So I'm just going to click through here and let you look. Now this is the one I like. This is going to be blending 2 different objects. Okay, it's made to blend 2 different objects, so I like that one there. It's pretty cool. This one has to be my favorite one, where a car is blended into a plane, and it's got the glass here. Here's another one here. And you can get all kinds of effect, you know, or explosive parts into sections. Here's another one I like. It's a locomotive train with a helicopter. And here's a boat with a helicopter. Alright, where you can see inside it. And just, you know, here's, you know, a car with a plane. Here's a picture frame with some roots. Here is the NVIDIA graphics card with a ring. Here it is with a chrome on it. A ring that you put on your finger. And back to the picture frame. Another one here, another one here. This one was blended in the chrome motor into a bus. Here's a dragster. It's a locomotive blended into a dragster here. And another blown motor with an NVIDIA graphics card. Blown motor with a shark. Blown motor with a wheelchair. You can do all kinds of stuff. And I'll just click through a couple of these and we'll move on. So basically, we're going to start left to right, and I'm going to do it kind of simple as best I can. First, we will remember the update, because I'm always updating this, so always check this. I have extra video tutorials that you can see for little tips and tricks if you go into in here and see under my videos. So we'll keep that in mind, and we'll go back to here. Okay. So basically how this works, it blends 2 different objects. Okay, by default this is going to be your best bet. Okay, and there's a couple good reasons why you might want to use this. Alright, let's say I put in car, plane. Okay, it's going to blend these 2 together into one. By default, this works great. 3/4 view set, perfect. You're going to get your best bet out of this one here. You can also use one. If you don't want to blend, you could actually do it like a sentence. Let's say a car. Then you don't blend like that. Okay, so you know, chrome paint. So this is gonna be your best bet here. It's really made for blending 2 different objects together. Alright, now we're gonna move to the next step over to the left. Okay, by default it's on chatgpt image 2.0. It's always going to be using chatgpt image 2.0. Well, you can kind of change the style. As you can see here, we could go Midjourney style without having to go to Midjourney. It gets pretty close to it. Another one I like is this MAI Image 2, more realistic. So you can choose whatever you want. I like to none, that's the chatgpt Image 2.0. Here's the mode right here, the realistic, and some of these options you can, I go over my other videos. Basically, by default, let me go back over to one of my images. Let's see here. As you can see here, I use a woman with a violin. It kind of blended her together. But when I switched it to realistic, and I go down and give it a prompt, then it gave it, you know, something so they don't kind of blend together. And here's one with a Midjourney style. Here's another one here with Midjourney style. So that's kind of cool. Okay, now here's another thing. Now we got this aspect ratio. When we click the foregrid, you'll notice, always notice the bottom. If it says orthographic view, that means it's going to put them trying to, without doing 3/4. It's kind of designed that way for a certain reason, okay? But also, when you do this, you are creating 4 grids, okay? And let's go down to the 2 random grids, okay? So if I created a car and a plane, we'll copy this. We'll go back over here and we'll paste this. And I'll pause the video. Then I get something like this. So basically I would just go ahead and download this. Now let's take a look. Then we get something like that. So the next step, before I move any further, we'll click down here for, click here for grid splitter, and it's going to bring me here. So if I select, I'll just select this one here. Let's take a look at this one here. As you can see, there's 2 images. Well, I don't like that one. Let's select the other one. These are basically 1-to-1. If you select here, but it's not in a row, so it would be, all you got to do is fix it so you see flip on both sides, since we have 2 different images. You'll know when you're off when you see only one flip. What flip does is it flips the whole thing. That's considered one image. And we can flip again and flip again. Alright, now I'm going to load another one real quick. And we're going to load this one here. And you can see here, I need to change this. I got 4 of them here and 4 down. So that should be 4-to-4 rows and columns. Then I got something like this. Alright, now they're not, some of these, they're all straight across, but they're not centered. You can actually click this and move where you want. As you notice, it screwed up the bottom one, so I could actually exclude these and fix these later. Then what you would want to do is you will download the zip file, because there's a bunch of them. If there wasn't a bunch of these, I would just download all separate. So So once I did that and got them, you know, all these in line, I can just go ahead and we're going to invert selection. Now we're going to fix this bottom row and we're going to drag down. Then you'll get something similar like this. That way you can fix it in case it gets out of whack. Now we got the scale here. This is not a true upscaler. It will stretch out the images. If you keep it kind of small here when you export it, you can it'll make it a little bit bigger, because these are a lot of little images. You can use these for all kinds of stuff. So let's go back over here. Now 2 is going to give you the second best images. Okay, by default, when it does 1, it's going to be better. Number 2 is going to be second best because the quality don't get as good. Then we can use orthographic 4. Okay, then that's going to be the higher, the more you do, the more it kind of, I mean, it does a really good job, don't get me wrong. So if you see here, it will also let you type at the end if you want to change something up. Remember, orthographic view is pretty much looking directly at you and left, right, whatever. And if we can also put a prompt in here and put, like, let's say bas relief. That's what I did. And then when you copy this, you pretty much come up with that same type of bas relief right here. You can make a bunch of these for all kinds of stuff. So let me get back here. Now we got let's say this one here. This is non-orthographic view. You may want to use this because it's random with a 3/4. Okay, that's pretty cool. It's also got your camera settings down here. Sometimes you may want to use it, and sometimes you may not. We'll reset these here. Here's where you come up with all kinds of stuff. They're in pairs: cutaway, transparent, then transparent. Okay, so you can choose any of these right here, and that's how I came up with some of these images. I will show you. Let me see which one that was. Let me click back here a little bit. Here's explode. You can cut away and explode. And right here, I believe on this one I used was, I believe it was the glass. Okay. And when you save the text, whatever is in the first item here, it will save the name, car text, so you can identify it. And like I said, you got cradle mode and uncradle mode. Pretty much cradle mode. Yeah, I mean, you can, that's all it is, just a visual thing to see these things here, whatever. Play with your balls while you're thinking, I guess. Well, anyway, what else can you do with this thing here? Before I go any further, when you are creating images in ChatGPT, you'll notice you'll get capped out a lot. It's because you're generating one image at a time and it's very quick. But when you're doing one image with 4 different images, then you can split it into the grid and then you can let me see if I can find one here, my foregrid. So this is 2 by 2, I believe. I'm counting 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. And sometimes when you're using this, you'll get a left and right, and sometimes this may not be accurate on ChatGPT, and you can also mirror these like this if you want to with the flip. I also use this in AI Marina. If you go up into the side by side right here, and you click here, then you click images, and you select this one's a good one, and then this one's a good one. You can paste your prompts in here and save these images. This is designed for rating. It's your images. It's free. I also use it with my grids with a it's called 10 cents for 3D models. As you can see, I use my grid on this to get different angles. You don't need 4. Sometimes you can just use one image. That would, if you're using one image, you'd want to use a 3/4 view. And you can download these and 3D resin print them or whatever you want. But anyway, I think I went over everything, and it's something you gotta mess with. It's really I gave you the basic thing. I'll probably be posting some more videos, so maybe some tips and tricks. But I hope you like it, and like I said, always check the update because I'm always changing things up. So far everything looks great, and the link will be below the video, and you can click it and you can try it for free, and it's free all the time. As long as you got the subscription. I don't know if the free tier of ChatGPT Image 2 has this, but I have a paid prescription. And like I said, when you split these up, you get 4 different images. You ain't gonna get the best quality. I mean, it's not bad. I say it's better than most that I've seen. You're gonna get your best quality. Clear this by everything at default. So, and we put plane here. And usually this first one is the dominant one here. You may want your large one here. If you don't like it, you can press swap. Okay, now we got plane over here to the left, car to the right. Swap it. And I think I went over things. These are pretty cool effects. I didn't go through all these. And these grids are going to allow you to have more images without getting capped out at when you're generating these, because it doesn't take long to get capped out, because you'll be having so much fun. You'll start generating, next thing you know it says, hey, you gotta wait so many hours before you can try again. But anyway, this should help solve some of the problems and some different things that you can do with it.